Hello friends! My name is Yasmin.
I'm Mijin.
And we're gonna talk about our experience living in Vancouver.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Korea. I came to Vancouver 3 years ago when I was 23.
And also moved here 3 years ago, and I was around 27, I believe. So first we're gonna talk about
How and why
we moved to Vancouver. So I forgot to mention that I am from Bali, Indonesia, and how I found out this city in Canada was when I looking at the online article, the best 3 city in the world, and I got interested and decided to move here.
Actually, it was the same for me. I was looking newspaper and then I realized Vancouver is good to live. So and at the same time I was looking at the school that I can go abroad. So I just, thinking that give it a try, and then I just came.
Yep, and both of us got here as a student.
Yep.
We applied in a local community college and studying hospitality management.
So now we're gonna talk about living costs. So what do you feel like? Like, what do you think about living costs here?
Expensive. One word, expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you search on internet, basically the article would say Vancouver is one of the most expensive city in the world. So, I think our how we arrange our living costs is almost similar, right? It's just maybe the way we spend it a bit different. I usually pay rent around 500 per month, I think.
Similar, 550.
Yeah. And I spend money for groceries per month, maybe around 200, 250 roughly, yeah. And also pay bill. I pay phone bill $85 per
150
month. What the heck? What plan is this?
Because I'm paying for the phone too.
Oh, I see. But me too. Huh? What phone are you
Maybe
using?
it's a new
Chatter?
No, it's fine. No, it's a Rogers.
Rogers? Oh, okay. Yeah, Rogers is one of the best and the most expensive phone plan in Canada. And then we also pay for, what else we pay?
Insurance.
Insurance, yes. The medical insurance, right? But sometimes you can get that benefit from work. It's just depends what is the arrangement.
Or if your house owner don't pay the utilities, or if you're living in a condo by yourself and you have to pay your own utilities.
Yeah, like for me, I pay my internet separately. Mine is cheap, so I pay like divided with my roommate. I pay like $20 per month. Yeah, what about you? Is it included?
Yeah, it's included.
Okay. So yeah, and other things, another few $100s, and of course to socialize. Yeah.
Just eat out.
Yeah, and save money. What about saving money?
Saving money, it's kind of hard for us actually. Yeah, because we're paying everything by ourselves basically.
Yeah.
And I feel like the reason why I feel like Vancouver is super expensive, because in Australia I was doing working holiday and I was getting $13, which is like way lower than my wage current my wage. But then that time I think I could save more than now for some reasons. I don't know, like,
Yeah.
that's why I feel like Vancouver is expensive for sure.
Yeah, we discussed this earlier, right? You said that actually in Sydney it's still cheaper compared to Vancouver. So I was struggling also like the first 2 years, I think, to save money. Of course, we were just student and then only working part-time.
20 hours.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was not enough actually to cover. I mean, it could, but like it's
really
very
have to,
tight. Yeah, it's very tight. So lately I've been discovering like how to save more money. Things that we have to do basically is cut out your social life.
or move to cheaper place.
Yeah, and stay home more, I think, and then like cook at home. Yeah.
Because here, I think the most expensive part compared to other cities is eating out, like restaurants, food.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really expensive.
But you cannot blame, because Vancouver has so many good places to eat and so many, type of cuisine that you can enjoy. So anyway, back again talking about living costs. What else that you want to add?
I would say living cost. Well, it's known, like Vancouver is known for like expensive housing.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. And it's impossible actually, even for local people, to buy a house. Like they keep saying that it's impossible for me to stay here and settle down here because the house market is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we're in Vancouver, but if you go out a little bit of, you know, like side part of Vancouver or side part of BC, then maybe things are getting better.
Yeah, and I mean the highest cost is actually accommodation in here, but other things like groceries, and if you compare it to Toronto, for example, it's actually the same. So Canada in general, it's expensive, so you have to be ready when you move. Right, now we're gonna talk about food, weather, and local people. So with food, actually this is gonna be positive positive review about Vancouver. For me, I've been pretty adventurous about food back home, but being in Vancouver, it gives me so much benefit to try more different kind of cuisine.
That's true,
So Vancouver is well known with their bubble tea, sushi, and Korean barbecue. So with Canadian cuisine itself, nothing really special except poutine, which I know you really like.
And Mr. Brown said poutine is not Canadian.
Oh, really? Where is it from?
He did so good.
What? Oh, where is it from?
That's
French?
what Mr. Brown
Really?
said. When he asked to the class, what is Canadian traditional food? I said poutine.
Yeah.
And he said, no, poutine is not Canadian.
Well, poutine is from Montreal.
Yeah, but it's Canada, right?
Yeah. Maybe, okay. So anyway, poutine, steak, I guess. But I like it here because every time we hang out, there's always like
we can try something
new place to try. What about weather? What do you think about weather?
It's, it rains a lot here. It rains.
Yes, it rains. We just realized we complain so much.
I have to say, there are 4 seasons here. Okay, there are 2 seasons here. Rainy season,
4.
non-rainy season.
That's so true. Well, originally it's like summer, winter, spring, and what else? Fall. Yeah, I forgot the fall. Fall is my favorite. No, actually, the fall season is pretty nice in here. But yes, like Mijin said, majority it's only raining and non-raining season. It's always cloudy in Vancouver, and I think that's part of our culture shock in the beginning, right? Because it's affecting our mood actually.
And so many people are depressed, and I realize it's a rainy day there's so many crazy people in the street.
Yes, especially in East Hastings. Don't go there. But yeah, there's so many homeless. I mean, homeless is fine, but sometimes they can be, do harm things to you.
Like too high.
Yeah. What do you mean by too high? Because, are you talking about weed? Drugs? Yes. Well, yes. It's in here. People can actually smoke weed.
Yeah.
We were talking about weather. But back to being depressed. Yeah, it's actually a real story. Some people, even us, we got depressed because of the raining season all the time, and we need sun to cheer ourselves.
But it doesn't. And the vitamin D really doesn't help you.
Yeah. I mean, so be prepared with that and buy a really good quality of umbrella. Because you gotta use it often over here. I mean, not
that's true. I mean, that's true.
But fall is coming, so obviously raincoat and umbrella are really important.
And rain boots.
And rain boots.
Now we're gonna talk about
work.
I'm currently working in the Blend's coffee shop, which is Vancouver-based, as a manager.
And I'm currently working as sales coordinator in Sandman Hotel Group.
So how's your work environment? How do you feel?
I feel great. I think we mentioned on the other section that the work culture is very respectful, and that is something that motivates us every day to stay in this company. And they're they care about our career. They want us to move up one day. So every day going to work is something that I look forward to personally, because there's always something new that I can do and learn. So about my work, it's basically also a Canadian-based hotel. So it's a local Canadian company that owned by a Canadian family. Yeah.
My coffee, my cafe, Blends Coffee is basically from Vancouver. And the cafe I'm working now, it's a main branch, so it's a corporate store. So that's why I don't have the owner, like franchise owner, but I have my boss as a CEO or the head office members. That's why they're treating me like really good, because I also worked at the franchise before, but then franchise owners are like basically their own business, right? So it's really different than how they run the business, other than head office or the corporate store. They just being lazy to give the paychecks on time, things like that. But now that thing never happened here, as it's a corporate store. So as a manager, I'm learning a lot and I'm gaining so much experience, how to manage people, how to run the store, things like that. And of course, people from the Blends, like the company, it's a Canadian company, they're all so nice and they always give you opportunity to grow.
Yeah, maybe you want to we should talk about our journey, how we get into here, like in this position. So we didn't get this position like right away. Like, of course, we start from like zero. Even though you had experience maybe in your own home country or other country that you visit, but you know what, when you move to overseas, it's always like starting again from the beginning. Yeah. So like for me, I started working as a front desk in a small hotel, and I think I'm very grateful to have that experience, because it's like it's an English speaking country for me, so I learned a lot from working in customer service. So from that experience, I just recently moved to this company and into better position, but that takes a while, so nothing is instant, and we also had to pursue our education to be eligible as a manager like you, or for me, and also as a sales coordinator.
Yeah, my first job here in Vancouver was a Blend Coffee as a part-timer barista, because I was in the school. And then I was also working as a front desk and a host at the hotel for like a part-time for like few months. Yeah, but compared the coffee shop and the hotel experience for me, I think I prefer coffee shop experience more, because it's more chill, and that's what I like at work. It's because you got to enjoy your work itself, right? It's not like because you're going to work every single day. If you're stressed with your work and the job itself, then it's gonna it's not gonna last long. So that's how I decided to stay at Blends, and then work as a full-timer, and opportunity just came. So yeah, I was really lucky to have good chance.
Yeah, and as just a reminder that our background is hospitality management, so hospitality is not only about hotel, that could be also food and beverage, like what Mijin is doing, and could be also in maybe in tourism part, like you want to work in travel agent if you want, or but most of our customer service, but mostly our friends working in either hotel or a restaurant or a cafe. All right, last but not least, we're gonna talk about best memories and worst memories. You want to start?
My best memory, I would say that I got an opportunity when I really need it. So let's say as soon as I graduated from college here, I was thinking, because I wanted to get a PR, but then in order to get PR fastest way, I have to be supervisor or manager. That's like it's called express entry. It's part of the immigration process here. But I was thinking that how can I get the supervisor as a foreigner as soon as you graduated? It's just 2 years, just a school life, and then now you have to decide like where to work as what, and then PR process and all that. But then that time in my cafe, there my previous manager, she had to resign for some reason. That's why I could get the opportunity as a supervisor, and then now I got chance to be a manager because of things that happen at the cafe. It's like right timing that good things happen. So I'll say that's the best memory for me to live. That's how I could stay here. could survive outside. And yeah, that's my best memory. How about you?
Mine is pretty similar like Mijin. Actually, if we go specifically, I would say best memories were when I got my first job and then second job. Why? Because honestly, when before I moved here, I was speaking with my family, and then they were like, "Yasmin, you have to be ready when you move overseas by yourself. Like finding a job will be difficult. So even though maybe you can work as a dishwasher if you want to, because we didn't know the situation here, right? So I was like all prepared to do everything that I could, and when I got my front desk position as a job, I was so grateful because that's how I plan. Actually,
oh, that's good.
Yeah, because that's a good starter if you want to have career in the hotel. Even though I had experience back home, but never been as a front desk, so that's good. So I was so happy. That was according to my plan. And then again, same like Mijin, I was also thinking about PR, and just further plan to stay here. And of course, we have to get a certain position. You can look at the Canadian immigration website about the level. There's NOC 0, A, B, and C or D, I forgot.
CD, yeah.
So to get an express entry, you have to get a job between level NOC 0 to B. And it was a very difficult journey for me. Like it took like 3 months, I think, more than that, because I've been looking before I graduated from school, and it's very competitive in Vancouver because there's so many like immigrants like us, international students like us that has a skill too. So when I got this job, I was so relieved because it matched to what I planned, to get my PR. So that was my happiest moment. Yeah. So there's best memory and worst memory. Yeah. What about your worst memory?
Worst memory. I would say I had this manager at my work. She was young. She was like 21 years old without any manager experience. She suddenly came to our cafe and being a manager. She was really bossy, emotional, and she doesn't know how to control people, how to manage the store and people. She was just stressed all day, like every day. And that gave me stress too as a supervisor because she's my boss. But basically she just she doesn't care, and then she doesn't care her job, and she doesn't know what she's doing. Of course, like everyone's not gonna know what they're doing if manager don't. So yeah, that was really hard for me. Honestly, when she was working at our coffee shop for like 8 months as a manager, that was a disaster. Everything was messed. Yeah, that was the worst memory. Luckily, she left. So yeah, that's Now things are good, but yeah, back then it was the bad stuff. It was really bad.
Yeah, for me, I think worst memory could be when I got depression because of there's so many things that we had to do before, like studying and working at the same time. It was tough, and being away from your family, even though you're independent now, but sometimes you do miss your family, and flying back home is not as easy as as people thought, because it's expensive, right? And our schedule is very tight. It's hard to get vacation. So being depressed was pretty tough, but thankfully we got a good circle of friends and we have each other, so that's kind of helpful. And also gaining weight. I think we had too much fun for the first few years.
Not carrying anything.
Yeah.
Just keep eating, drinking.
Because we talk about how good a restaurant is in Vancouver, and there's so many good food option, right? So gaining weight was like, we didn't realize it. Like for me, I didn't realize it until recently. I was like, oh no, this is too much. So yeah, I'm on my journey right now, trying to lose it.
It's not as easy.
It's not as easy as we thought, because not like back home, right?
No.
It's so easy. But
the biggest reason is because we're working full time. So basically after work you're just tired.
Yeah, tired, and we can give so many excuses. why we're gaining weight. But like that happens, I guess, when you move to a new place and you want to try everything. And so yeah, that's our best and worst memory in Vancouver. And
yeah, so that's it for our video.
yes, and hopefully you guys enjoy it by listening to our story. And
yeah,
I guess see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.